So actually, there was, before we get to Silent Hill here, there was actually something that Midgar you sent me today that I really wanted to talk about actually, because I thought it was super exciting because this just came out today. So Midgar sent me a website saying that like updated news about Final Fantasy VII Part 3. And yeah, I just wanted to read this and talk about it and everything. So, and I gotta be honest, it got me super excited. So it's saying that, I mean, we haven't seen any trailers or anything yet of Final Fantasy VII Part 3. And we didn't see it in the State of Play yesterday. But they at least do tell us like what's going on. So it says, Square Enix has begun opening up about the final entry in the Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy. In a recent interview, series director Naoki Hamaguchi shared fresh details about the third installment, confirming that development is well underway and that its official title has already been decided. So the official title's already been decided. And so when I first read that, I was like, what the fuck is it? But while Hamaguchi refrained from disclosing the name itself, he explained that much like Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth, the title will capture the essence of the game's central theme and overall experience. He further teased that the news on the project could arrive sooner rather than later, sparking anticipation among longtime fans. So, before, Chad, before I said that Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3, I always thought, in my opinion, that it was going to come out in 2028, because that just seemed like the most logical thing. But there were some, like, in terms of like how long it takes to make games anyways, but there were some things that I didn't think about that actually make sense about why it would come out in 2027, actually. Resurrection? maybe, who knows. But 2027, the main reason why it could come out that year is because it's the 30th anniversary of Final Fantasy VII Original. That would actually make a lot more sense than it coming out on the 31st anniversary, The reason I thought it was 2028 is just because, it's 4 years after Rebirth, and they've been doing it kind of like that. Remake took 5 years, Rebirth took 4 years, so since we had so much still in the story to go, I just assumed that it was going to take another 4 years. But I mean, they say it could arrive sooner rather than later. So like the earliest I think it's going to come out, it could very well be 2027. So, I mean, if that's the case, I'd be super fucking excited. And it would make sense, even though it's still kinda early, it would make more sense that a trailer for 7 Part 3, revealing the title and everything, would come out at the Game Awards this year. Because if they plan for it to come out in 2028, it's not going to show at the Game Awards this year. I mean, that would be way too fucking early, we still have to wait 3 years. So, if it's going to come out in 2027, that would actually make a lot more sense. Which I'm super excited about, because it's like the halfway point, you know what I mean? It's been a year and a half. Well, by the time the Game Awards come, it will be a year and a half until Rebirth came out, and then a year and a half or so until 2027. So that would actually make the most sense here. I'm kind of like, if it doesn't show in the Game Awards this year, and that could be news that it's not going to come out until like 2028, because it might be still too early for that. Because I mean, 2028 is still like 2.5 years. Discussing the evolution of the trilogy's design philosophy, Hamaguchi highlighted the keywords that shaped the earlier entries. For Remake, the keyword was reunion, which I thought was interesting actually, because I thought the third title most likely was going to be Reunion. So I thought that was very interesting. He said, noting how Cloud's reassembly with his allies parallel players reconnecting with a beloved classic. Which makes sense. And then for Rebirth, the guiding word was bonds. So emphasizing the relationships built among the characters as their journey expanded. And then as for the third installment, Hamaguchi confirmed a new guiding concept exists, though he declined to reveal it just yet. he says, in the same vein, we've got a new keyword for the third game in the series. Can't tell you what it is yet. It's very much there, though, and influencing and informing how the gameplay and the game experience is shaped. So, that really makes you think about... Like, it's like a hint of, like, what Part 3 is going to be called, and it really makes you think about, like, what's going to be called. It could be, like, more accurate names for it instead of us just, you know, speculating random things, you know. So I mean, if remake and for remake the keyword was reunion, for rebirth the keyword was bonds. So what the hell is Final Fantasy VII Part 3 going to be called? That starts with RE at least. And what's the key word there? I mean, like, I'm not really that smart enough to try to make that connection, but it does get me really excited. The director assured players that development is progressing smoothly, with working builds already in place that demonstrate how the undisclosed theme directly influences gameplay. He described the project as moving in the right direction and emphasized the team's commitment to delivering a proper conclusion to the saga. So, I mean, he's reassuring. That's not the Part 3 name. I'm just saying that. He's reassuring everyone that, you know, progress is still going smoothly. You know, there's no delays or anything, and you know, it's really all that they can say right now. Because, like I said, it's still kind of early, so it makes sense. You know, but it's good to know every once in a while that progress is still going smoothly and that they're working on it. They're working hard on it. You know. This is going to be the climax, the finale of the series. Woo! The climax! Yay! The finale of the series! And we're going to make it a suitable finale, a really great send-off for the game. It will be something ideally we hope will please fans, will delight the fans of the much-loved series, and really reward everyone for sticking with us to the end. This gets me very, 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 very excited, you know? Like, I 100% believe in them, you know? I don't look excited. How was that? But yes, I mean, like, I 100% believe in them, like, without a doubt, you know, unless they pull off another bullshit thing like the Shinra Mansion. Yeah, because they've done everything outside of the Shinra Mansion so fucking well. Like, they've done everything so goddamn perfect that I 100% believe. Well, let's say 99.9% believe in them. Like, I'm so confident in them that Part 3 is definitely also going to be one of my top 5 favorite Final Fantasies. I mean, I cannot fucking wait for it, and I can't imagine how it would get even better. But I bet you it will. You know, fucking Rebirth was so fucking amazing. Like, it was unfucking believable. I just loved it. I'm in love with it. I loved it so much. And Part 3 is, oh god, you get to visit different cities. You got the fucking high wind. You get to go through the fucking world. You got fucking Wutai and towns we haven't visited yet, like Rocket Town and the Ice Town. We're gonna do the snowboarding, and we get to go to the Northern Crater and that area, and then we get to fucking go back to Midgar, and then how big is that gonna fucking be? And then it's just like so many fucking questions, you know? I mean, it's, oh god, there's just still so much to cover, and it's definitely going to be the best game of all time, in my opinion. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is definitely the best game of all time, in my opinion, but of course it didn't fucking win the Game of the Year award because of fucking Astrobot. Like, fuck Astrobot because of that. I mean, I don't want to say this because I said this about Rebirth. I said, like, I don't know how... In the past, I've said, like, I don't know how Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is not going to be Game of the Year. And I'm very confident in saying that for Part 3 as well, but I don't want to say that just in case. You know? Because of, you know, some other stupid shit that people are going to vote for instead of the games that actually deserve to win Game of the Year. God, that pisses me off. It really is fucked. I mean, like, it's really unfortunate that AAA games that actually deserve the award because of how much effort and time and love and they put into the especially this game. You know what I mean? Like especially Final Fantasy VII, the game that changed the world back in 1997, and in my opinion changes the world now. You know what I mean? It's like it's definitely unfortunate that these don't get the recognition that it deserves. I'm biased. Well, I mean, yeah, that's true. It is true. Like, I'm not saying, like, my opinion is, like, the best opinion in the whole world. Like, yeah. I mean, I'm biased to some extent because Final Fantasy is my favorite video game series of all time. But, yeah. I mean, even just, like, I think even just in general, these are the greatest games ever. You know what I mean? Even if you're not, like, even if you don't know Final Fantasy, or even if you're not a Final Fantasy fan, you know what I mean? I mean, you guys watch me play Rebirth. I mean, like, you gotta admit, it's fucking unbelievable, right? I mean, with how much love they put into it. Oh, dude. It's the greatest game, one of the greatest games of all time. Anyways, let's finish reading this. Beyond this trilogy, Hamaguchi also reaffirmed his desire for the Final Fantasy series to maintain a multi-platform future, ensuring that fans all across major systems can experience the next chapter in the franchise. That's fucking great, you know? That's really great because 7 Rebirth was only PS5 exclusive, which, you know, as a PlayStation person, you know, I got to enjoy it, but I didn't like at the same time, you know? Because you're only reaching a certain audience, and the sales for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth probably wasn't as great, because of that. And that's one of the reasons it wasn't as great as it probably should have been. And I don't know if 7 Remake was the same way, I forget, but now that they're expanding to all platforms, that's great because they're gonna get a lot more sales than that, you know what I mean? And it's gonna get more recognition, and like, you know, for Xbox people, PC people, I mean, it's gonna reach a way bigger audience, for sure. With the finale already in active development and its title decided, anticipation now turns to when Square Enix will lift the curtain on what promises to be a landmark release. The finale is already in active development. You know what that tells me, chat? I think it's a pretty good chance that it's going to be released in 2027. I mean, if it's already in active development, like not at the beginning stages, that's awesome, man. That's fucking awesome. And they're working hard, everything's on schedule. I mean, 2027 is the 30th anniversary of Final Fantasy VII. I'm very hopeful for 2027, for sure. And I'm very hopeful that we're gonna see something at the Game Awards.
Right on our journey through the realms of fantasy. He am the master